identical with the soundtrack which follows. Who's behind the faces? Who's behind the windows? Who's behind the walls? Everyone in his own box. Who's inside? Changing environment. New houses for old. The neighborhood is cut in half. People moving. The miles cut families in half. The countryside moves to the city. Our way of life is change, and the changes breed strangers. Who's behind the faces? Who's behind the windows? To whom does one turn when troubles come?
Joe, you better come home. I think there's someone in the house. I don't want to be here all alone.
Joe, it's the 6th time this month.
I'm sorry, Mr. Haskell, but I have to go. I'm gonna get fired, sure. Best job I've ever had. They like me, too. Can't leave her alone when she's like that.
Doctor says I can learn to walk again. Supposed to go see a therapist twice a week. How am I going to do it? Climb down the stairs? Get in the car?
There's so many cars. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know anybody. There's nobody to help me. I've got to do something.
There he goes again. It's a clutch. Sure as fate. Cost me $30 just for parts. Damn, I wish Mary was here.
The doctor says I can leave now. Marion just doesn't want me to go home.
Why won't she come and live with us? She can't go back to that little house, live all alone. Somebody's got to take care of her.
Míralo. No se ensucia las manos ni tiene que agacharse. No duraría medio día en un trabajo duro. Hay cantidad de trabajo para ese.
Calls for help. Fortunately, there is help to be given. In a large city, there may be as many as 1,000 different agencies.
We provide low-cost transportation to jobs for people in poverty areas.
We help handicapped children to learn to help themselves.
Our association provides physical and emotional rehabilitation for patients who have had ileostomy surgery.
Our foundation provides low-cost drugs and equipment for children suffering from cystic fibrosis. We provide educational and recreational programs for blind children.
We teach art to mentally retarded children.
The Institute helps immigrants by teaching English and by giving multilingual counseling.
We offer an emergency telephone service for young people in times of emotional crisis.
We give training and develop placement opportunities for those afflicted with epilepsy.
Our treatment for drug users includes
people who need help and people whose job and desire it is to give help. But all too often there are walls in between.
Yes, we provide transportation, but only in private cars.
But my husband can't get into a car. He has to ride in an ambulance. It's the only way he can get to a therapist.
I'm sorry, we don't provide ambulance service.
No, we can't take your husband on a regular weekly basis. We only provide emergency service. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we don't provide transportation of any kind.
Doctor's office.
Hello? I'd like to talk to the doctor.
Are you a patient of the doctor?
No.
What is your name, please?
Mary Brown.
Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Your telephone?
Look, no one wants to recommit her. That's the point. I'm told she's making a good recovery. The only problem is she apparently gets frightened when she's alone. What she needs is a clinic that can treat her during the day while her husband's at work.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do.
Do you mean to say there's no day clinic for mentally disturbed adults in this community?
I don't know of any. I'm sorry.
But I gotta get that clutch fixed. I can't get along without a car.
I'm sorry, but we can't make loans for automotive repairs.
I see.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Espérame aquí.
Dr. Walters, the lab is calling. Dr. Fields, you are wanted an X-ray.
I'm sorry, but we already have a long waiting list for the home health aides on our staff.
No, we can't help your mother unless she's chronically ill. Have you tried calling?
No, we don't provide full-time homemaking services. I'm sorry.
I can afford to pay.
That's not the problem. We simply don't have full-time homemakers. I'm sorry.
Walls that keep those who need help from those who can give it. Fear of asking.
But I've got to get that clutch fixed.
Failure to ask for the right thing at the right place.
I'm sorry, we don't provide ambulance service.
I'm sorry, we don't provide homemaking services.
I'm sorry.
How can these walls be torn down?
Information Referral Service.
Hello?
Hello, can we help you?
I need a place to sleep tonight.
I'm sure we can help you. Just a minute, please. I'll put you through to our social worker. Mrs. O'Connell, there's a young woman on the line. Wants a place to sleep tonight. She sounds upset. I'll take it. Hello, this is Mrs. O'Connell. Can I help you?
I don't have any place to sleep tonight.
Where are you calling from?
A phone booth outside the bus station.
May I have the number in case we get cut off?
Yes. It's 972.
4011.
Thank you. You've just arrived in town?
I've been here a couple of hours. I came on the bus. I don't know anyone here. I had a fight. Back home.
With your family?
No. They don't even know why I've gone. I had a fight with my boyfriend.
Does he know where you are?
No. Nobody knows where I am. Nobody cares.
I care. You'll find that many
Your
people
3
care.
minutes are up. Please signal when you've completed your call.
Hang up. I'll call you right back.
All right.
Judy, call the Salvation Army Center. See if they have a place for tonight.
Hello?
Hello. We're checking on a place for you to stay tonight. Have you got any money?
Not very much. I can't afford to go to a hotel. I only have a few dollars. I haven't even eaten today. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's okay.
Good. We found a place for you to stay tonight. It's at the Salvation Army Center.
Thank you.
Do you have a pencil? I'll give you the address.
Yes.
It's only 3 blocks from the bus station. You can ask the ticket clerk inside for directions. Ready?
Yes.
Good. It's 625 East Adams. You got that?
Yes.
You told me you don't know what you're going to do. Is there anything else I can do to help you?
I don't know.
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah. No. I don't know. I'm pregnant. And he won't even admit it. He says there had to be someone else. There wasn't anyone else. I'm not going back. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have any money, and I don't know anybody.
Information and referral.
I'm not going back there.
One number to call for all the services available in the community, and for referral to the ones that can help.
Job or anything.
There's someone at the Salvation Army Center who can help you.
And someone whose training and experience have taught her how to tear down the walls, how to get client and service together for the best interests of the community.
If you talk with her, she'll be able to help you. Will you make an appointment to see her when you get to the center?
All right.
I'll call her and she'll be expecting you. What name shall I give her?
Joyce. Joyce Timmons.
Then I depend on you to get there in 2 minutes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, it's a skin cancer. He's supposed to come in for treatment twice a week. He'd missed 2 weeks when he phoned. Seems his car broke down. He didn't have the money to fix it. Can you find transportation for him?
Well, let me get in touch with him, Doctor.
Good. His name is Carlson. Lanny Carlson. No, he doesn't have a phone. Lives in a trailer.
All right, I'll stop by tonight on my way home.
Hello, Mr. Carlson. I'm Mrs. O'Connell. Dr. Whitehurst asked me to stop by. May I come in?
My mother-in-law broke her hip, and my wife had to go to Cleveland to take care of her. So I had to go on vacation to take care of the kid. My vacation's run out now, and we spent all the extra cash we had on my wife's bus fare. Now my car's broken down. I got to get a new clutch. How can I get to the doctor?
Oh, you understand how important it is for you to have these treatments.
Sure, I understand that. But how can I get to the doctor?
You can provide transportation then. Wonderful. That's right, twice a week. His name is Lanny Carlson. Frank? Hi, how are you? Me too. Listen, I've got some more work for you. There's a Mrs. Lanny Carlson visiting in your city. She's taking care of her mother who's convalescing from a broken hip. Now, Mrs. Carlson's needed back here. What's the chances of you finding a homemaker for her mother? That's right, Janet. Full-time homemaker. Oh, for about a week, just till his wife gets back. 10 days, maybe. Take care of a young baby. Clean the trailer. He needs his car for health purposes, Mr. Atlee. Also, so he can go back to work. No loan. Okay, I thought so. No harm in trying. Thanks anyway.
Yes, ma'am. We have some parts here. Mechanics? Yeah, we've got the best in the world. Yeah, sure. I guess we could help him out.
Wonderful. Good morning, Mr. Carlson. I've got good news for you. We found a homemaker in Cleveland who can take care of your mother-in-law so your wife can come home. In the meantime, a homemaker can come and look after things here so you can get back to work. And I found some men in an automobile club who'll help you fix your car. You won't have to pay for the parts till you can afford to. Now, don't forget to take your treatments.
No, ma'am, I won't.
An information and referral service in no way duplicates the work of other service agencies in the community. On the contrary, it helps other agencies to work more efficiently and economically by referring people with problems to the appropriate services and keeping them from contacting agencies which cannot help them.
Therapy twice a week at the rehabilitation center at the hospital, but we don't have any way to get him there. He can't get into a car. He has to have an ambulance twice a week. But we can't afford it, Miss O'Connell. Dr. Marcus thought that you might know of an agency that would supply an ambulance.
Oh, Mrs. Wilkins, I'm afraid there's no agency here that can supply an ambulance that often. Maybe there's something else we can arrange. Let me make some calls, and I'll get back to you by phone as soon as I can. Doctor, there simply are no free ambulance services available, except for emergencies. But I think I might be able to find a therapist who could go to Mr. Wilkins' apartment, treat him there.
All right, fine. Give it a try.
I'm sorry, Helen. Our therapists are all booked solid. We might be able to start Mr. Wilkins in a month or 6 weeks. Should I put him on the waiting list?
Hold off for an hour, Pat. Let me check around, see if I can get anybody sooner. I'll get back to you. The sooner the better. He's already been waiting several weeks.
Well, we could start him next week. Thursday, 11 o'clock.
The therapist will come twice a week, Mrs. Wilkins. He'll work with your husband until he's improved enough to get into a car.
They're going to send someone here.
Hello?
Hello. I've got a dripping faucet.
A what?
A dripping faucet. It disturbs my wife, and I'd like to get it fixed.
Have you called a plumber?
No, I don't know a good one. I thought perhaps you could help me.
Well, I'm not an expert in plumbing, but I can get you the number of my plumber if you like.
Oh, thank you.
Just a minute.
Professional social worker is trained to listen between the lines, to respond to unvoiced requests.
You said it bothers your wife.
Yes, she's an invalid.
Oh, well, is there anything else I can do for you, Mr.
Kuhn? No, nothing else.
It's Wide Awake Plumbers, 675-4421. Have you got it?
Yes, I've got it. Thank you.
Mr. Kuhn, are you sure there isn't anything else I can do for you? That's my job, you know.
Do you give all kinds of help?
What we do is get you in touch with the right agency. Whichever one can give you the kind of help you need.
Well, there is one thing. Like I said, my wife's an invalid, and I take care of her. Oh, I want to take care of her, and it really wasn't any problem at all until I had this heart trouble. But now, things do get a little difficult sometimes.
Well, Mr. Kuhn, I could get you in touch with some people who might be able to help you take care of your wife.
Would that be possible?
I think so. Would you like me to try?
Oh, yes, I think I would. I think I would.
No, I've talked with the doctor, and he's totally against recommitting her. He says the problem is...
An information and referral service is in a unique position to spot gaps in the network of services maintained by the community and to suggest changes or additions.
What she needs is a place that can take her 5 days a week, 9 to 5, while her husband's working.
I'll see what I can do, Mr. Haskell. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I see. No, we don't want to do that. No, we've tried them. Okay. No, it has to be every day. I see. No, nobody does. Thank you. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Haskell. There's simply not an agency in town that's set up to do it. Not for an adult mental patient, for day treatment on a regular basis. Seems the only way she can get that kind of care is to be recommitted.
But that'd be a waste. The woman doesn't have to be recommitted. What she needs is some kind of a halfway house to help her get back to her old life.
I know.
Well, it's ruining her husband. He was one of my best men. Now his work's falling off to nothing. It's a waste all the way round. Isn't there anything we can do?
Yes, we can make a report to the Community Planning Council.
A report?
Yes, a report. I think there are several mental health agencies in town that could set up a day treatment service if they were convinced of the need. Will you help me convince them?
All right. I'll try.
There will be people in need of help who will not call Information and Referral, either because they're afraid or because they've never heard of the service.
And the most important thing is for the people you're helping to learn to trust you.
In some communities, neighborhood aides are trained to help reach these people.
You have to deliver results, otherwise you lose them. For that reason, it must be absolutely clear that you won't be dealing with their problems directly. Be sure they understand that your job is to see they reach the particular people who can help them best.
The trained aides work either full-time or part-time in their own neighborhoods.
Se ve bueno.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿En qué les puedo servir?
Usted podría correr las cosechas. Están retrasadas este año. Pero me imagino que usted no sabe nada de eso.
Sí sé. El año pasado yo también trabajé en los campos. Oía cosas y vi mucha gente como usted. Sé que es un año malo. Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?
Ravelita.
¡Déjalo!
Señora, el niño tiene una pierna enferma y no puede caminar bien.
¡Cállate!
¿Puede usted ayudarlo?
¡Nos lo van a quitar!
Nadie se los va a llevar. Créamelo, nadie se los va a quitar. Siéntense. Déjenme buscar a alguien para que los ayude. Por favor, siéntense. Nadie les va a quitar el niño. Mrs. O'Connell?
I've called every social service agency I could think of, every employment agency, and I haven't been able to find anyone. Oh, I interviewed one or two people, but my mother didn't like them, and neither did I, for that matter. It's ridiculous. We want her to come and live with us. We have a beautiful home with plenty of room, but she won't do it. She wants to go back to that little house of hers.
Well, doesn't your mother have neighbors who could look in on her?
Oh, yes, she has friends who could do that, but she needs someone with her all the time.
Well, full-time home aid services are hard to find, Mrs. Jacoby.
You don't have to tell me that.
Does your mother really need someone with her all the time?
Who's going to cook for her? She's on a special diet. She can't prepare those meals herself, and you can't expect the neighbors to come in 3 times a day and cook for her.
Try this number. It's Meals on Wheels. They provide meals for people like your mother, special diets and all.
I didn't know about that. Why didn't somebody tell me?
An information and referral service requires a relatively small investment. At a minimum, a small office, a telephone and someone to answer it, a constantly updated file of community resources, and a creative and imaginative social worker. But the dividend paid can be large. A more efficient and humanitarian use of the service resources available in the community. Information and referral services now exist in more than 250 communities. Some are associated with departments of health, some with the United Way, many with community health and welfare councils, and at least one with a medical society, a geriatric home, and with other concerned private and public organizations. People who need help, people who can give help. Information and referral. A practical way to get them together. A practical way to utilize all the community's resources.
Hi, honey. Yeah, Dr. Whitehurst says I'm licking it. He thinks I can go off the treatment in a couple of months.
Here's your dinner, Mrs. Phillips.
I've talked to my parents. They're coming. They're going to help me keep the baby.
Telling people where to turn.